Today's video is titled The Cycles of Consciousness, Why Awakening is a Roller Coaster. So if you are going through the process of spiritual awakening, you might be feeling like you're going through kind of this up and down variation cycle where you're feeling super conscious, you're having all kinds of insights, your consciousness is super clear, and then a few days later, after that awakening, whatever it was, you kind of dip back down into the real world and you become unconscious, and it feels like super frustrating because you're like, oh, I'm back here again. I'm back down in the earthly place here again. And then a few days later, maybe a week later, you have some new insight and you're like feeling super conscious again. And why does this happen? What is up with this? Why does consciousness cycle like this when you're going through spiritual awakening? If you are in the fourth stage of spiritual awakening, growth and plateau, you're going to be experiencing this a lot. So you're going to be hitting these insights and having this crazy experience, having these crazy insights, having this boost in consciousness, and then you're going to be falling down, plateauing, and not having any growth for a while, and you're going to be kind of stuck in this unconscious zone, and it can be kind of frustrating. And I know that I personally hate the dips back down. Ram Dass talks about this a lot, that it's part of the process of coming up and coming back down, and coming up and coming down. And it's just part of the awakening process. It's all part of the process. Every time that you come back down, it's part of the awakening process. I like this style of whiteboard teaching. I've been doing a lot of whiteboard stuff recently just because it allows me to put some of these abstract concepts visually for you guys to be able to see it. So I really like that. I think I'm gonna keep doing more kind of whiteboard content, and comment down below if you like that kind of stuff or if you like more of the just me directly talking to the camera on my podcast mic. If you are having a spiritual awakening, you are going up the consciousness continuum. You like my little fancy consciousness continuum? I know, it's just some way to visualize the abstract concept. So we have on the left, we have the earthly side. So this is where you are kind of on these dips down, unconscious. And then you have on the right side of the consciousness continuum, we have the spiritual side where you are super conscious. These are the states where you're having awakenings. These are the states where you're having these crazy insights. So on the right is the spiritual, and when you're having these awakenings, you might be in a state of super vivid, your consciousness is super sharp. And that state is what allows you to have these different insights and profound experiences. So I think the consciousness is the thing that comes before the awakening. I don't think the awakening triggers hyperconsciousness. I think when you are able to shift into higher consciousness, that is when you have these insights, these awakenings. So when you're having them, it feels good. It feels very vivid. Life feels a little bit lighter, and you're able to get into a flow state. You're hyperconscious. You're having good emotions. You're feeling good. You're feeling feelings of bliss and happiness and peace, which is contrasted to when you fall back down, which is inevitable in this process. When you're having spiritual awakenings, you're going to come back down again and flow down the consciousness continuum to a lower consciousness state. This is where you are feeling much more physically grounded. Maybe you feel heavier, things feel harder. Maybe you're stuck in your thoughts, you're ruminating a lot. Life feels sticky, you're feeling lower emotions. And you're just feeling more unconscious, there's kind of a denser fog around your consciousness. It's just a little bit harder to see things clearly as they are, to have insights. You're not meditating when you're down here in the consciousness continuum is really freaking difficult. Meditating when you're feeling really high consciousness, amazing, blissful, peaceful, awesome. How do we go about moving ourselves closer to the spiritual more? That is the wrong question to ask, because we are here on earth for a specific reason. We are here to experience being a human, to experience the earthly low consciousness. If you believe the idea that we are fundamentally spirits coming down for a human experience, then this is important to experience. You need to be able to have these human earthly experiences that are hard and physical and sticky. And when you have these, I honestly think that this, just gotta get in my way, that when you're going up and down this consciousness continuum, I don't think it's really in your control. I think it's something that's kind of already pre-planned, and you kind of just have to go with the flow of going up and down of this super consciousness, unconsciousness cycle. So taking the insights from the spiritual and being able to live a practical life where you're paying rent, you're feeding yourself, you're not, like Ramana Maharshi, who at the age of 16 became enlightened and didn't eat for 2 weeks straight because he was just so in blissful states of enlightenment that he didn't give a crap if his body died. Okay, you are not Ramana Maharshi. You are, like me, just a regular old spiritual seeker. And so you're gonna be able to the importance of coming back down is so that you can deal with your earthly matters. So you can pay your rent, you can go to your job, you can feed your kids, you can feed your dog. That is why you have to come back down. Because ultimately you are a human being here on this earth, so you're going to have to deal with that and live that practical side of things. So that is when you're in this lower side of the cycle, focus your attention and energy on your physical matters of survival. And when you are blessed randomly through grace with hyperconsciousness, vivid spiritual consciousness, then you can do some of the more spiritual work. And don't try to force your way into this side of the consciousness continuum. Don't try to force yourself to get there. Allow things to unfold naturally and just kind of accept things and surrender with the flow of the cycle. Eventually, through the stages of spiritual awakening, you might get to stage 5 integration or stage 6 transcendence, which is like the full enlightened stage. Maybe you'll be able to transcend this. And the key to being able to transcend this cycle is nurturing your awareness, being able to notice from a different perspective that is not involved in this cycle, to be able to detach your awareness to just observe the cycle. And when you foster this, you're fostering consciousness in itself. In yourself, you are fostering your awareness and consciousness. And eventually, you can just start to be the observer of the ups and the downs. And I personally have not gotten to that place. I'm still in the cycles, and it's hard for me to detach myself from them. So that is kind of my perspective on why we go through these spiritual cycles on this consciousness continuum, because I think it's just part of the process, and throughout your different lifetimes, as you continue on your spiritual journey, you might have more of these, you might have more consciousness on the consciousness continuum. And maybe, if this is like your first couple lifetimes, you might be solely stuck here, maybe not even be able to get past the first notch of consciousness. If you want to figure out what stage of the spiritual awakening journey that you are in, you can click the link down below to take the quiz and find out what stage that you are in. And if you like this video, please like this video and subscribe for more content like this. Peace.